A parabola has a minimum of -8 and roots at -6 and 2. Find an equation for the parabola of the form y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Well, we know that the parabola has a minimum, so that tells us whether it opens up or opens down. And in this case, since it has a minimum, it opens up. The parabola has roots at -6 and 2, so that tells us that the parabola crosses the x-axis at -6 and 2. The axis of symmetry must be halfway between these two roots. So if I have one root at -6 and I have another root at 2, halfway in between those would be at -2. So I must get a parabola that looks something like this. Okay, so that's great, but we want to find the equation of this parabola. Okay, so the vertex is at -2, -8. How do I know that? Well, I know that the minimum is -8, and I just found out that the axis of symmetry is at x equals -2, so the vertex must be at -2, -8. And these are the values of h and k. So in the form y equals a x minus h squared plus k, that tells me that h is -2 and k is -8. But how do we find the value of a? Well, I know the root 2, 0, I can plug it in. So when I put 0 in for y and 2 in for x, I get 0 equals a times 2 plus 2 squared minus 8. Okay, that's a times 4 squared minus 8. 4 squared is 16, and then I can solve this for a, and I end up getting a half. Great, so I have y equals 1/2 x plus 2 squared minus 8. Okay, but there's a problem. I want it in the form y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, that's not a problem. I can just multiply it out. So y equals 1/2 x plus 2 squared minus 8. Well, that's the same thing as y equals 1/2 x plus 2 times x plus 2 minus 8. Okay, now I can FOIL this out, first outer, inner, last. So that ends up giving me y equals 1/2 times x squared plus 2x plus 4 minus 8. And then I can combine the 2x and the 2x to give me 4x. And then I can distribute the 1/2 out front. So I get y equals 1/2 x squared plus 2x plus 2 minus 8. And finally, I can combine the 2 and the minus 8 at the end, and my final answer, y equals 1/2 x squared plus 2x minus 6. So this is in the form y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. In this case, a is a half, b is 2, and c is -6.